Hello, Nutrimetrics. That's the sound of the fastest growing division in Market America, and the purpose of this segment is to help you understand exactly why we're growing so big and so fast from the perspective of the health professionals who are helping to implement these programs for their patients. Now, for those of you who may not know, Nutrimetrics, for our health professionals, we implement revenue-generating wellness solutions designed to help them answer the questions their patients are asking while also generating revenue for their office. To a potential Nutrimetrics consultant, comprehensive professional training to learn how to implement these solutions in healthcare professionals' offices with limitless income potential. Our shared vision for all of us is to implement healthcare solutions for a country that is predominantly in a sick care condition, and we all understand that. For a quick snapshot on what's going on in our medical economy, decreasing insurance reimbursements mean that health professionals are getting paid less money per patient, which means less time per patient and more patients to get the same amount of revenue, okay? Which means less time, obviously, for patients. They're also having to take an increasing number of loans just to cover payroll, which is, of course, the biggest expense. Cost of business is always rising, always going up. We know that well because we all live in life as well, and cost always goes up. Also, patients are changing. Patients are more educated by TV and by commercials and all the belief systems, and their food habits are also commercialized. So it's come to a point in time where change has to happen. Health professionals have new business questions to answer. They also have new patient questions that they have to answer. And that's what Nutrimetrics does. And we know this is so because the patients are asking. The patients are asking their health professionals, which multivitamin, which calcium, which omega-3 do you recommend? How do you help me lose this weight? I asked myself, what can I do to support my health? We know the patients are asking. We know they are. The expertise of Nutrimetrics is simply providing the answers to these questions, and we are good at it. Nutrimetrics numbers go only upwards, and the reason why this is so is because patient results matter. When patients are getting results, patients reorder. When patients reorder, the health professionals are successful. When they're successful, we are too. So this is what's outpictured by our numbers. Our success means our health professionals are successful. Now, also we must realize health professional is a business. A business must run profitably to stay open, always. And of course, the patient's needs must always come first. We all agree with that, and that's always the primary focus of a health professional. But also I have to ask the question, what makes each health professional unique? What sets them apart from their competition? So for example, if you have a cardiologist on a road, okay, what makes them different from the cardiologist down the road a few blocks more, or a chiropractor, or a pediatrician, or a urologist, or any other healthcare practitioner? What sets them apart? Because patients are asking and patients are looking. And of course, planning for the future. This means not only planning for their future as their practice, but also their patient's future, because it is health care that we're talking about. Well, the health professionals here that I get to introduce to you today are going to share their perspective on all of this and what Nutrimetrics has done to help them evolve their practice and their patient care forward. First of all, we have a cardiologist, CEO of Elite Medical Group. Elite voted top 10 in wellness in the country, book author of Reality Diet, senior medical advisor for Nutrimetrics, supervising coordinator, and your new medical health professional of the year for 2012. And we have Dr. Perry Krichmar, cardiologist, also Mount Sinai Medical Center, Florida Medical Business Award, Best Cardiology, also senior medical advisor, principal investigator with multiple pharmaceutical research studies, and so much more. They're going to come up and share with you a lot about their practice to help you understand what they've delivered. Please help me give a Nutrimetrics welcome to Dr. Stephen Schnur and Dr. Perry Krichmar.
Tell me this conference isn't energizing. You know, every time I leave the conference and I go back to Miami, you kind of feel like you want to just kind of conquer the world. But what we want to talk about today is where healthcare was and kind of where healthcare is going, and give everybody an idea of kind of how we've seen the evolution of our own practice, but really it's about where practices have gone overall. So prior to Nutrametrics, we had a very typical cardiology practice. The name of our practice was South Florida Cardiology Associates. And as you can see from the picture, it had to have very routine waiting room. And we saw that the landscape of healthcare was changing. And we realized that if we didn't go out and change what we were doing, that we could be one of the many physicians who would either sell to a hospital, go bankrupt, or barely make it.
And we weren't going to do that. No way.
So we went out and we said, listen, we need to rebrand us as health professionals. So we wanted to take South Florida Cardiology Associates and change it more into a health and wellness company. So in order to change us into a health and wellness company, we needed to find a line of nutraceutical products that not only represented health and wellness, gave good patient outcomes, but had a little bit of sexiness to it and had a little of shelf appeal. It was very important that they worked and they looked good, and that's what really led us to looking at Nutrametrics.
Right. Now, what we all have to understand is that if you want to be a health and wellness company, your patients want to hear from you where to get your nutraceuticals from. Now, think about this. We recommend their pharmaceuticals, but if you're truly going to be health and wellness, they want to hear about your nutraceuticals as well. If I tell a patient, you need vitamin D and you need fish oils, but I don't tell them where to get them or where to get the best, and they go to the vitamin shop. Now, think about what happens here. The vitamin shop is running a special. They overbought all their fish oils, and the manager tells Sally, hey, we got too many bottles of fish oil here, let's blow these out. So typically a patient's going to go and they're going to find the cheapest stuff on the rack, and they're going to come back and they're going to be on fish oils, but the question is, are they doing what's best for them? And obviously no. And I'm going to prove that to you in a second.
So we decided to put the products up and make them very visible to our patient population. We also said to us, listen, if we're going to be successful, we need to form a team. Just like the Miami Heat has a championship team, we said we need a championship team. So we really went and utilized what I consider to be the LeBron Jameses of Nutrametrics. We utilized Brandy Murphy and, of course, Dr. Mason to really help build what we consider a championship team. Now, these two individuals are amazing, and they're available for all of you to use. And I would recommend highly that you use these individuals because they truly are the LeBron James of healthcare. So what did we do to kind of transform our medical practice into a health and wellness? Well, we decided that we needed to capture more revenue. We believed in the concept of people taking Nutrametrics, but we also wanted them not to leave our facility. So we added on an on-site pharmacy because our belief was let the patients fill their prescriptions, but at the same time, let them fill their Nutrametrics concerns. So let them get everything in one place.
Now, I don't know if any of you, physicians are here or how many you dispense out of your office, but from the nutraceutical point of view, in my practice, and I think it's very important for you guys as well, you have to have stock in your office, because there's many times if you don't have stock, or if I've told a patient you need to be on a supplement, and if you don't have it, they're going to go out and get it, or if you tell them to get it on your portal, they're not going to get what you tell them from Nutrametrics' point of view. So if you have the stock in your office, or if you have a pharmacy in your office, they're definitely going to get what you want them to get versus going out and getting what they want to get. Okay?
So we wound up building this room that you guys see. And in this room was a pharmacy and all our Nutrametrics products. So we kind of made our facility appear as kind of more of a wellness cafe. So we converted the typical waiting room that people see as a boring area for people to sit, and we said, let's make it more into a kind of a Starbucks feel. Took out the chairs, we put in the couches, and we made an area that we called our Juice Bar Nutrametrics Pharmacy, where we could do tastings, and we felt that attention would increase the visibility of our products, and also give the patients an area where they felt comfortable and where they didn't see it as waiting, but they saw it as enjoying the facilities.
And what you can see here is from the picture, and your waiting room now, instead of just being a pure waiting room, which patients just wait in, why don't you make it entertaining? Why don't you make it educational, okay? So throughout the day, we have our NC who's going through, giving lectures, giving tastings. You could see there's a coffee machine there. You could see there's products, our products are there. So there's a lot of interaction. So obviously people are going to be waiting in a waiting room, but it makes it fun, and it becomes another business value for us as well. But again, there you see it, okay?
So as the arrow goes up, we said, listen, we want to retain these patients. Now that we've captured them in a wellness cafe, now that people actually come to see us, maybe sometimes just to be there. We actually had people who were in this area that weren't even scheduled to see the doctor. They're actually coming there just to be there because, you know, a lot of the older patients are lonely. And believe it or not, when they have a place for social gathering that they enjoy, they actually are attracted to go there. So I would say 20% of the people that were there, I'm like, are you seeing me today? No. Well, what are you doing here? I'm here having coffee and talking to my friends. Have a good time. So the bottom line is we felt that this area could be an area where not only we can introduce them to Nutrametrics, but may give us an opportunity now to introduce more of the shop.com and maybe get them to understand the whole concept of one-stop shopping, of being able to fill not only their nutraceutical needs, but maybe their needs of their own household.
You know, it's very important to make sure that when we recommend a nutraceutical, they don't take a nutraceutical for a month. Typically, when we recommend something, it's forever. And how do we know, or how do I know, if they're taking the nutraceutical? Because I can tell when they're on our products versus taking an imposter. And you may say, well, how do you know that, Dr. Krichmar? Well, we do advanced labs. And we do labs called HDL. So, for instance, I measure EPA and DHA contents, and I could tell what their fish oil content is. So I recommend our Heart Health Essential Fish Oils. So when they come back and their level's low, and I've recommended it, and their level's low, because I know when they take our product, their levels are always therapeutic. They're always in the range. And when they come back and they're low, and I ask them, are you taking our product? Always. Or if I give them the vitamin D, and their vitamin D levels come out low, I know, are you taking the 5,000 international units? No, but it's obvious. So there's ways that I know how good our products are. Number one, I take them. So I know there's ways that I could check on the patient. So they can't cheat me. So this is a way, so not only is it important that the patient stay on the products, it's important that when a patient knows that, you could prove to a patient that our products are successful, they work, and you could show them in black and white. It's a very powerful tool. Thank you.
So what's interesting is Perry and I, we never stop. I've been with him 20 years.
21.
21. And I think we've had a half a fight. Half? A half. So anyway, we said, listen, we have a captured audience. We have 40,000 patients. And we need to give them the whole one-stop shopping experience. So we said we need to add a medical continuum. We want medical, we want wellness and weight loss and nutrition and life coaching. So we came along and said, listen, why don't we take TLS, why don't we take GeneSNP and have a program that is personalized but yet genetically engineered. So instead of the Jenny Craigs out there and these diets that are kind of very one-stop for everybody, we said, let's make it personalized to the physiology of our patients. So they know they're getting a program that is much more personalized and genetically engineered. And so by combining the two, we launched this program in January, and I would tell you we see about 50 patients a day right now in our locations that are in the program.
Well, let's face it. 65% of the people are overweight, 30% are obese. 1 out of every 3 children born today is going to be a diabetic. There's no wonder there's a problem with the healthcare system today. Guys, it's not because there's no money for the healthcare system, it's we're taxing the healthcare system because of our diseases that we cause ourselves because of the problem with obesity. So, if you're going to, this is prevention and wellness, it's not an option anymore. You cannot practice cardiology, internal medicine today if you're not aligned with a health and wellness company like Nutrametrics. If you just go to a doctor and he's taking your blood pressure and he's giving you cholesterol medication, but he's not paying attention to your weight, he's not taking attention to your nutritional status, he's not doing his job or her job. There's no way, because if they're not addressing these issues, how could they be taking total care of you? Most overweight people are malnourished. They need nutraceutical supplementation, okay? So if you got to have the whole package. You just cannot take care of one aspect of them and not take care of the nutritional aspect of them.
You know, what's interesting is we got a call from Burger King, who actually asked us for our TLS Gene SNP product. And so the person who sent me the email was Whopper.com. Everybody at Burger King is Whopper.com. So it's very interesting that Whopper.com was coming to Elite Health for a TLS Gene SNP weight loss executive wellness program. But I will tell you, is this transformation that you have seen, while a lot of our colleagues have not made it, and it's sad that we see it, it has really saved our business. It has saved our practice.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, we enjoy practicing healthcare more than ever. So what do we see for the future? We see for the future simplification. We see for the future automation. We want every practice in the country, no matter what their specialty, no matter what their staff size, to successfully implement Nutrametrics and change the health of our country.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, it is time for a change, and they're helping to define and create the definition of healthcare for the future. And of course, Nutrametrics is helping lead the pack by supporting that. Now, we have another doctor with us today who is also our Allied Health Professional of the Year for Nutrametrics. He's in Advanced Orthogonal Chiropractic Care, Bachelor in Science, and his doctorate degree from Life University, a board-certified Atlas orthogonist. And he's obviously a big part of our system here, and again, our Allied Health Professional of the Year. He's going to share with you the perspective from the chiropractic and allied health side and how it's worked for his patients to help him innovate and expand his health care. Please help me give a Nutrametrics welcome to Dr. Stan Pierce.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. I absolutely love conventions because, like all of you, 6 months, I need to be recharged too. I go out in the same world of mediocrity where people expect their lives to be average. They accept declining health as part of the aging process. It's not, but they accept these substandard levels. And when we're all working to try to help people see a new vision for their life and a new vision for their health, that's draining. That's draining on all of us. And we get frustrated with people that they won't want to change their lives as much as we want them to change their lives. So when I come here and get to be around you and your excitement for changing your lives and your health, that refuels me too. So thank you for what you do for me. Whenever we speak, Nutrametrics usually will ask, hey, could you discuss this topic or that topic? And this time they said, can you tell us what it would be like if you didn't have Nutrametrics in your practice or in your life? And I thought that was a really interesting question because when you've been around something for a while, it becomes part of who you are. And so the identity of our practice just has Nutrametrics in it. And what it's done for me in my life, it just is part of who I am now. So thinking back, it was 4.5 years ago where one of you, a Market America distributor, had gone to the Nutrametrics consultant training course to learn how to deal with people like me. And you were willing to step into my office and prospect me, and I was very resistant, but open-minded enough to ask enough questions that led towards the understanding of how cool Gene SNP is. and how by implementing that, I could educate patients on a whole nother level that I couldn't do just through my own opinion or my own testing, but we actually could do it on a genetic level where patients could see their genome and be able to customize their life to match that. And as a health professional, one of the most difficult things is trying to get patients to comply, like do what they need to do to get well. And that credibility, whether you're a doctor or not, that credibility is always in question with patients or even with your friends and family. So being able to use GeneSNP to enhance that credibility has been a good feature that I would really miss. And that opened my eyes to looking into isotonics, and I thought, wait, no digestion required, better absorption. This should get better results for my patients. So it was exciting to see patients getting better, healthier, faster, and I would miss that if I didn't have Nutrametrics. TLS, watching people's bodies just shape down, watching their life come back, watching their spirit rejuvenate. Boy, I would miss seeing that. So those are three main things I would miss if I didn't have Nutrametrics. But when those services, whenever you have any new product or service that's brought into an office, you will see excitement. Okay, if the doctor or somebody's going to put it in, they're excited enough to say, we'll give it a try. And you'll see new businesses pop up with new products, and everyone's excited, and they all jump into the new business. But the key about it is that if you don't have that product be effective and produce the results that it claims to, then that excitement will die off. And therefore, you will, as a business administrator, you will see that although your statistics of sales might be higher that very first year because of the excitement, you will see a drop-off in those sales year after year because the results didn't keep the patients motivated. And if patients don't get better results, the doctor gets less motivated. So the testimony I want to give you also about the effectiveness of Nutrametrics is something I would really miss. We used a previous supplement company back in 2007 was our last year with them, and we had sold $7,500 worth of their supplements that year. Our first year with Nutrametrics, we sold $115,000. And I love sharing that but then again, remember, it could just be excitement. Let's be realistic. It could just be something new. We see potential. So here's the greater testimony. Last year we sold $191,000. This year we're on track to selling over $230,000. It keeps growing because the results fuel the growth. The results also encourage me, and I would really miss that revenue if I didn't have Nutrametrics too. With that revenue, we've been able to hire on additional staff. We hired on a director of research at our office. We hired on a Nutrametrics consultant as a full-time wellness coach at our office. And her name's Kelly Klein. She's here somewhere. But I threatened her. I'd say, I'm going to pull you up on stage. And she got all freaked out. I wasn't going to. But so she's here, and she's a big help to me. And it's because of that teamwork that we're actually getting patients more motivated and staying on top of their healthcare needs too. So I would miss those 2 employees. What else would I miss? I would miss the confidence. I'm not an unconfident guy, but when you go to the trainings and you learn from Dr. Deidre Mason on how to understand the product line, how to help your patients more and recognize conditions and make the right recommendations, it builds your confidence. I would miss the confidence that GeneSNP provides, the additional confidence there. And so when you have a better understanding of what you can do to help people, you get more confident, and the results fuel that confidence to go through the roof. So I would miss that extra confidence. I would also miss Mondays. For those of you in the business, I would miss the extra excitement for Mondays, because Mondays are normally the start of a work week. Well, it's our reward day around here, so I would miss the extra excitement for Mondays. I would miss the implementation assistance that Lauren helps me with. I would miss watching Brandy coordinate the health professional course and try to customize to all the different doctors' needs. I learned from that. I would miss the relationships. Dr. Krichmar, Dr. Schnur, I've enjoyed getting to know them. Dr. Milan, I love talking to that guy. I met Dr. Chow this weekend. And to see this mission statement of Nutrametrics, changing the face of healthcare, and see all these different health professionals coming together regardless of their stigmas and frustrations, coming together for the benefit of the patient. That is rejuvenating to me, because if you think about it, there's a lot of doctors that are in private practice trying to make that change, trying to keep that motivation. But you get feeling like you're just this little island out there, like nobody else is really fighting like you are. This gives you the encouragement. You have a whole team. You have multidisciplines, all there just fueling this same passion and movement towards improved health. And I would miss that too. So, Team Tampa Bay. I'd miss Team Tampa Bay. And actually that brings up a good point. Probably the last thing I would miss most is you. Because when we come to these seminars and we do get that rejuvenation, but we get to see people whose passion is about the future being better. That does recharge all of us. So thank you for who you are and for what you bring to this. Have a good event.